Hi fellow crafters! Today I have yet another Mother's Day card idea using the brand new and gorgeous Meadow Dies, which you can purchase separately or you can bundle it together with the Quiet Meadow stamp set. I can't wait to show you this card idea. Hey everyone, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I love sharing techniques and project ideas with you each week for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. Now let's get started on today's Mother's Day card. Your mom is going to love it. As I mentioned in my introduction, I'm going to be using the Meadow Dies for my Mother's Day card. Now you can purchase this set of dies separately, or you can bundle it with the Quiet Meadow stamp set and get a discount. Both of these products are going to be featured in the next annual catalog, which goes live next week. If you would like a free copy of the catalog, you live in the US and you do not yet have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you order through, leave me a message below. I'll get in touch with you and we can chat about how to get you that free catalog. Now here is this pack of dies, and as you can tell, they're all jumbled together. So I thought it would be a good idea to show you what these dies look like, just in case you're interested in purchasing them at some point. So there are 13 dies in the pack, and I just absolutely love them. I have had so much fun playing with them, and I'm going to show you how to use some of these for today's Mother's Day card. So we've got these ones here, and then we have a large butterfly, and then one that's flying sideways. There's this teeny tiny tag, and then there are these 3 additional tiny dies that I have no idea what these are used for. So if you have an idea about what these 3 tiny ones might be about, I would appreciate a comment as well in the description, underneath the description box below this video, and tell me what you think these 3 are to be used for, because I really don't have a clue. I don't even see how they would match up with any of the other dies. So your turn to teach me something. All right, so I'm going to use 3 of these dies for today's card. So let's get going on that. My card is going to be Whisper White. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and scored it on the 4 1/4 mark, and that's going to be my card base. And to that, I'm going to be adding a layer of basic black. Let's do that now. Let's get my adhesive. And then I'm going to set it aside, and we're going to do something else with another layer. So I'm going to adhere this down like so, and then I'm going to set it aside. Now I have a piece of the Retiring Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. I'm trying to use up all my bits and pieces of leftover paper so that when the next catalog goes live next week, I can justify buying more new goodies. I'm sure you're like that too, right? And what I'm going to do is, from the Quiet Meadow stamp set, I'm going to take this splatter stamp, and because Pool Party is the main color in this particular pattern or design of the Designer Series paper, I'm going to stamp the splatter just to provide some additional visual interest on this layer. I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece, so I don't want to ruin my nice clean grid paper that I have underneath. And basically, I'm going to do what we call generation stamping. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on so that it is not really dark. I really want the sort of the paint bits to be the feature on this, but I think the splatter adds just a nice additional touch. Let's do that. I think that's enough. There we go. That's what it looks like. Again, so you've got sort of the texture in the pattern. It looks like it's sort of, you know, wall painted or a canvas, But then we also have these additional splatters, which adds some nice visual interest as well. And then, let me set this aside. I'm going to bring in my silicone sheet, and I am going to use this particular die, and I'm going to adhere it down over on the left side of the designer series paper. And to do that, I'm going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I am going to just add bits and pieces, little dots, I guess, of glue onto the back of this. Then I'm going to adhere it down like so, okay? I love the black against the pool party. I think it just really is a standout. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this tag, and I want to attach it to the front of this layer eventually. But before I do that, I want to stamp on it. Or I'm going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White, which I will then attach to the basic black tag. So I have the Thinking of You stamp. I think for those of us that live far away from our mothers, and because of the pandemic, we cannot really visit them, I thought it would be nice to let Mom know that I am thinking of her. So I'm going to stamp that down onto this little piece of Whisper White, and then I'm going to adhere it onto the black tag that I've already gone ahead and die cut. I want to have a nice black border around so that, again, it stands out nicely, like so. Now, let me bring back in this layer. You can see that it doesn't really fit very well. So I had this idea that although I really love these little, sort of loops, I'm going to cut them off, which will make this just a simple tag idea. You can see that I didn't really attach and that way it will fit on the front of my card. So I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue again, and I'm going to adhere it. Got a little bit of glue on my tag. There we go. I'm going to adhere it like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this black butterfly and I'm going to add it to the front as well. And I'm going to use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals because I want to provide a little bit of lift for this butterfly off the front of my card. And the mini Stampin' Dimensionals are a perfect fit. So I'm going to do that like so. Then I'm going to bring in my card base. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back. And I'm going to adhere this to my basic black layer for the front of my card. You can see that it's really starting to take shape, right? All right, now one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some elegant faceted gems to the front of my card. Now, I don't want to use this sort of darker color here. And what I think I will do is I will add, I kind of like the white ones. Now, there's only 2 small ones. So I'm not sure where I want to put them, where they will be seen. I think I'll put, I guess it really doesn't matter too much in the end. And I'll put one up there. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. And there we go. We have a beautiful Mother's Day card idea that used some of the dies from the Meadow Dies pack. Now let me show you a second idea. In this second idea, I used this die and this die. I'll just move this aside again. And I created this layer. Now this layer is not finished. It's not attached to its card base, but it gives you a second idea. Now what I did was I die cut this particular flower or image, I guess, from Pool Party. So I did it in basic black first, then I did Pool Party second, and I cut off the Pool Party stem and then attach these two bits to the basic black one. And then it will be attached exactly the same way to another card idea. Now for the Happy Mother's Day phrase, that came from the retiring Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. So this stamp set is retiring on the 3rd of May. So if you want to get it, and there's 32 images in this set, head on over to my online store and place your order so that you don't miss it. All right, so now you have 2 ideas using 1 pack of dies and then your favorite phrases. If you'd like a listing for the supplies that I used and the measurements for the layers, head on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. And while you're on my blog, join my free mailing list to get insider tips and ideas to take your card making to the next level. I'll leave a link to my blog in the description box below this video so that you can click on that and head on over. I send 2 newsletters a week, and in each one, I'll share a project idea you haven't seen anywhere else. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll create a beautiful Mother's Day card today too. Bye for now.